I know that when you're talking about Bill Belichick, you are talking about the best head coach in NFL history. You just are. To hell with the cheating stuff and everything else. You're talking about the best head coach in NFL history. The results are there. The proof is in the pudding, like it or not. So every season you go in, you look at the Patriots and say, man, you can never sleep on New England. They've got the hoodie. They've always got a chance. And maybe it feels that way to start with. But it feels like one of the things that really misses is a key problem with the New England Patriots. Is Bill Belichick, the head coach, is great. Bill Belichick, the general manager, is complete and total dog shit. He may very well be at the present time the worst general manager in the National Football League. Who is worse? Who is truly worse? And for the Patriots to even finish where they do a lot of these years, it's a fact of Bill Belichick, the Hall of Fame head coach, having to compensate for the stupidity of Bill Belichick, the horrendous general manager. A perfect example of a guy gets a lot of success and then thinks he's better than he is. The arrogance of the system, the arrogance of himself. And the recent results aren't all that promising. And a lot of it has to do with just how bad Bill Belichick is as a general manager. Look at his draft history. Look at his free agent signings and roster building approach. It's really bad. And you look at this season, sure, the Patriots were 6-4 at one point. Okay, so they were in the mix. With a little over the third of the season left to go, they had a chance, which is about what you would expect from a Belichick coach team based off of Belichick, the X's and O's, the game plan, the strategy guy. But when you talk about now Belichick, the general manager, and later in the year, where the talent starts to matter even more, his teams fall apart. And they go 2-5 in the last 7 games, finish 8-9, losing record outside of the playoff race. Because of Bill Belichick, the general manager. And maybe a little bit of Bill Belichick, the head coach this year too. But you look at what kind of put him in that spot, they were 1-6 against playoff teams. Like, if you want to be a good team, you got to be able to beat some good teams once in a while. The Patriots flat out couldn't do that in 2022. They had a 500 record against the AFC East, but 1-3 combined against the Dolphins and the Bills, and 0-2 against the Bills. That's not going to get it done. Their defense was pretty good, which you would expect from a Belichick unit, but they certainly weren't dominant or elite. They're 6th in rushing yards allowed, 8th in total yards allowed, 10th in points allowed, 4th in sacks, 3rd in interceptions. All that shit is nice, but this team finished with a losing damn record. Again, pointing to how insignificant having a great defense could be in the modern NFL. Because what matters more is the offense. And when you look at Bill Belichick, both the general manager and the head coach, you ask, what the fuck was he thinking with this offense in 2022? Trade away somebody like Shaq Mason for fucking peanuts. That's what he did. He decides not to have a true offensive coordinator, but you're going to have Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia! Matt Patricia is going to be working on that side of the ball, and he's going to help you with the game calls, and he's going to help you with setting up the game plan. And gee, you wonder why that fucking wouldn't work well. The fuck's wrong with this dude? No wonder Mac Jones didn't develop in year 2. Look at the fucking dog shit situation he's in. His top weapons, Jacoby Myers. Solid player, but he's certainly no damn stud. Devontae Parker. Yeah, not great. Hunter Henry. Solid-ish, not great. Nelson Aguilar, are you kidding me? Those are the weapons that you gave to your young quarterback to work with. And people are wondering why he looks fucking mid to less than mid. And then you sit there during the frickin' Monday night game against Chicago and you're going to fucking bench Mac Jones for Bailey Zappi. You know, as more and more time goes along, And especially when you look at the past few years and you look at Brady's success compared to Belichick, it starts to make you think that Brady was more important to the success of the Patriots for 20 years than Belichick fucking was. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I don't think that's entirely right. But I wouldn't say it's 100% wrong either. Because post-Brady, Belichick looks like a goddamn fool. And the benching of Mac Jones to play Bailey Zappi. How'd that fucking work out for you? So now you've potentially undercut the confidence of your young quarterback to play another young quarterback who you ended up just yanking again any fucking ways. You got questions at the quarterback position. And as much as people might want to say, hey, Mac Jones wasn't great in year 2, I certainly would agree with that. But if we're going to talk about circumstances and situations and environments that you put him in, how many quarterbacks are going to be great with Matt Patricia being one of the key offensive coaches, setting up the game plan, helping with play calling, and having his top weapon to throw to be goddamn Jacoby Myers? Give me a goddamn break. That's Belichick, the general manager. And then the dumb dick decision to bench Mac Jones like he did, to get his spark so that way you can still get your ass whooped by the shitty ass Bears, who by the way ended up with the number 1 pick of the fucking draft. You still got your shit rocked that night. Fucking Bill Belichick, the coach, starting to look like a clown too. And you go into this offseason, maybe that would be a reason for hope typically. Because you say, well, this team has $40 million or so in cap space. But you just got to sit there and say, I can't wait to see how Bill Belichick, the general manager, wastes that money. What's he going to fucking do with it? Got to find guys that fit the Patriots way. Maybe the Patriots way ain't the goddamn way anymore, especially because you don't have Tom Brady. Just a thought. Maybe you need some real studs. And those real studs don't come by just signing a Matthew Judon. How the fuck did that help your young quarterback, dumbass? And certainly if you're a Patriots fan, I imagine you can't wait to see how much they reach on their day 1 pick and how they squander their day 2 picks and how they waste those 3 fourth-round picks. Like, that's got to rev your engine up. But when you look at the Patriots right now, what reason for optimism do you really have? I don't see why you'd have any. Typically, when you have a guy like Brady there for almost 2 decades and he leaves, that's when you want to bottom out and truly start over. But you're never going to be able to do that with Belichick because you get to win just enough games to put you right in the middle of the fucking pack. And look at where the Patriots freaking are in the draft. Picking 14th in round 1, right? So you can't tank. When they drafted Mac Jones a couple years ago, where were they picking? 15th. So sit there right in the middle of the goddamn first round. Money to spend. He don't know what the fuck to do with it. Quite a few draft picks. Again, you can clearly look at the recent draft history and say, by and large, doesn't know what the fuck to do with them. Like, I'm assuming Bill Belichick's going to stay around long enough to try and pass Don Shula's record. But frankly, at this point, for Patriots fans, I hope you enjoyed your run. And you had a great run, right? Like, 9 Super Bowl appearances, whatever the hell it was, over 2 decades. 6 Super Bowl titles. That's some impressive stuff. That's a big-time dynasty. Well, that shit, I promise you, ain't happening anytime soon, and that's never coming back again. You're never getting close to a Super Bowl again with Bill Belichick as your head coach and general manager. Accept reality. Be like a Bulls fan. Think back on the glory days. This will be a long time before you see him again.